On to the Western Conference, Mavericks versus Suns. The Mavs haven't advanced yet, but we're under the assumption they probably will beat Utah.
I know that's another thing. Like that series really could go 7.
Nobody cares about that series.
It can go 7, but I would still pick Luka.
I would pick Luka
Suns versus Mavs or Jazz. Maybe the Pelicans sneak into here. They win it too, but
no way.
No, if we're losing,
I'm gonna give this analysis based off of the Suns winning, facing the Mavericks. If they face the Mavericks, I mean, it has been very lopsided the past 2-3 years. The Suns have won 9 games in a row against the Mavericks.
Damn.
This year, they're 0-3, but Luka missed 2 of those games. It's as simple as this. If the Suns are without Devin Booker, they lose this series. I think Luka now advances to Western Conference Finals. I actually think, Warriors in the conference finals versus the Mavericks gives me 2015 WCF vibes when the Warriors faced James Harden in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah. I think Warriors would beat the Mavericks fairly easy in the conference finals, probably 5 games. But if D-Book doesn't play, yep, I have the Mavs in this one. But D-Book plays, I think the Suns, they showed it all year. They're the best team in the West. They're disciplined defensively. Role players step up at the right time. Mikal Bridges having a 30-point game. That was fantastic. The thing with the Mavericks is going to be interesting to see is that I think they have the perfect combination of ball handlers and guards that attack the basket, and it opens up a lot of the floor for shooters to now knock down wide open shots. And they have versatile defenders. You look at Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith, who I think he's been one of the more underrated players in the league for a while. Versus the Jazz, he's contested 93 shots, second behind Embiid in these playoffs, and opponents are shooting just below 40% against him. He's played some great defense on Donovan Mitchell, especially down the stretch. Mavericks right now from the 3 shooting 36%. They're shooting very well. I just kind of don't know how the Mavericks sustain this level of 3-point efficiency versus the Suns. We see it versus the Jazz because the Jazz have given up so many wide open threes per game.
No perimeter defenders.
But you look at Bullock, he's shooting 41% from 3, Kleber 55%, Dorian Finney-Smith 38%. I just see these percentages dropping down. I think Mikal Bridges, he has done as good of a job on Luka as anybody these past couple of years. Whenever they match up, that's like the highlight, Mikal's defense on Luka. Luka will still get his, there's no doubt. And I also think that Brunson has come onto the scene, but he really flourished because Luka wasn't in the lineup. When you have 3 guards that thrive on handling the ball, and that's how they generate their offense and their playmaking, Luka doesn't add on to what Brunson does. He replaces it and does it better. So Luka now handling the ball more now kind of negates how valuable Brunson can be, and it also negates how valuable Dinwiddie can be. Not saying they can't have huge impact, but just Luka having the ball that much, their play styles are similar. It just cancels each other out. With Devin Booker, I trust the Suns' shot creating ability, but without him, I think in the series versus the Pelicans, it's been very apparent that they need another shot creator. And that's why all season long I was yelling at the top of my lungs, trade for Eric Gordon. Trade for a player who can generate offense, who can't just score off of pin downs or screens, who can just create for themselves. I feel like the Suns are missing that. I think it'll haunt them later on in the playoffs. But in this series, I think they can get by. But they do need Devin Booker for this one. If not, I think they'll lose.
Piggyback a little bit off what you said. I personally love the 3-guard dynamic. I think they have the right combination of patience, the right combination of pace. I like the way Jalen Brunson moves. I like the way Luka moves. Luka's kind of like that slow guard. Brunson's kind of that break you down, and Spencer's right at the attack. I like the way they definitely balance off each other. Like you said, shout out to Donovan Mitchell. He preached Dorian Finney-Smith's defense. He said he's been as good as anybody has been against him, and that's fact. Nobody's ever seen Donovan Mitchell play like this, and Dorian Finney-Smith has been incredible. The 3-point Dallas is weird. They always hit at a ridiculous rate. You look at last year against the Clippers, the first 4 games, they were hitting at a record rate from the 3-point line. They looked amazing. Right now, they look great defensively. They're always on go. It's just tough because, like you said, Utah doesn't really guard, so it's really hard to analyze like, oh my God, Bullock's 3-point percentage, Finney's 3-point percentage right now. Brunson's amazing performance. He's been great, but Utah doesn't guard. Phoenix does. So Phoenix is a great defensive team, a great offensive team. So it's going to be a different energy, but they're going to need Brunson to step up. Dinwiddie step up. Will continue the pace of what they're doing. But sure. I like this matchup. I think this could be an elite series. This could be the series that puts Luka up more in that upper room. Definitely put his name out there. I know he didn't play much in this series, and people were kind of laughing at Utah, like, yeah, he got out the first round, but this is Utah. I think this next one can really, 60-win team. Phoenix, they do need Devin. Like, they need Booker back for this series, no doubt. But I think Dallas could possibly sneak this one out. I'm going to take Suns in 7. I think this is a 7-game series for her. I think Luka is that great. I think he just took the Clippers to 7. I think he can definitely take Phoenix to 7. I think he has had more help this year than he's had the past 2 years. Although he doesn't have another star, he has Brunson, he has Dinwiddie. Dwight Powell's been amazing. He has the defenders. So I think he's been good defensively too. So they don't, Jalen Brunson, he's small, but he tries here and there, you know what I'm saying? So I think this will be a 7-game series, but I got the Suns.
I wholeheartedly agree with everything you just said. I'm looking at the Suns, and yes, they 100% need Devin Booker. I think that I'm looking at the Mavs team, and for them to take 2 out of the 3 games without Luka Doncic speaks to the depth that they have and the chemistry that they've played with all season. To step up in that absence without their best player and to have Jalen Brunson step up the way that he has is credit to what the Mavs have done all season long. I do think they close it out this next game. And for the matchup between the Suns, this will be a 7-game series because of Luka Doncic and how special he is and his impact to the team. This team defensively is completely different as opposed – I'm assuming the Warriors are lit.
We're about 4 in a minute. 30 you're stressing right now.
You're just too much. But I'm looking at this Suns team defensively, and I think that's where I'm giving them the edge. Yes, defensively, the Mavs have been great all season long, but I think defensively the Suns do edge them out a little bit just because of the depth. So long as Devin Booker is healthy and he is playing for the Suns, I do lean the Suns solely for the fact that they just have a little bit more depth than the Mavericks.
You know what? In the midst of you guys talking, and especially what you talked about with Kawhi and PG, and how Luka took them to 7, and how that same Clippers team without Kawhi took the Suns to 6, potentially 7. I'm changing my pick. I have the Mavericks in this series.
So in the midst of just us having a conversation,
he literally just flipped.
Just thinking about it,
minutes.
look, I think this is Luka's time, and all these thoughts started to come to me, and the thoughts were, okay, Devin Booker has a hamstring injury. Mm-hmm. I mean, that, regardless of what, how healthy or not he is, it's going to linger on. We just seen Dorian Finney-Smith neutralize Donovan Mitchell. Can he not guard D-Book a similar way? He definitely can. I don't trust the shot creators on Phoenix. I don't trust Mikal having a 30-point explosion. I don't trust Cam Johnson having 20-point explosions.
You should.
I don't trust DeAndre Ayton consistently doing what he does, even though I love Ayton, but it just feels like the Suns are missing something. Luka Doncic is a superstar.
Yep.
This is the series that can solidify him, not getting out the first round for the first 2 years in the playoffs, now making the WCF. Look, I think this is, we talk about Tatum's time. I think this is Luka's time to make the Western Conference Finals. I don't trust Phoenix's health. We never know when Chris Paul is going to go down.
He looks gassed anyways.
We've seen
He needs Devin.
We've seen the bad luck that they've had throughout the course of, Chris Paul has had throughout the course of playoffs in general.
In his career, for sure.
And it's just Luka. Like, you guys just talking about Luka is what's changing my mind. And Dorian Finney-Smith, I trust him with the best of them. And defensively, I do. I think this is Mavericks in 7.
I think
it's Mavs in 7.
The difference with Donovan and Booker is Booker has so much that you can create for him on offense, where he can get you in the elbow, he can ISO you, he can get you down or pin down. Like, he can do so much as a form to Donovan Mitchell. He's kind of like not a one. I don't want to say directly one-way scorer, but he's limited in terms of
I know what you mean.
Devin Booker. And he's 6'6".
Devin's post play and his ability to play make is what makes it a little bit different.
You know what I'm saying? The hamstring will be tough though.
It's just Luka is.
Yeah, Luka different. Luka different.
It's just Luka's averages the most points per game in the playoffs amongst anybody. Small sample size, but
Yes, it's MJ.
he cooked Kawhi. He cooked PG. It doesn't matter who you put in front of him.
But in the fourth quarter, when you needed Kawhi to clamp up, he did.
Well, that's because Luka.
57% from the field.
Yeah,
is nuts.
I tried to explain that to you.
I didn't think it was 57. I knew it was in the 50s. 57 is crazy.
Well, at one point it was at 61.
Luka in the series versus the Clippers gassed out later in the game.
He did.
Every game.
But now he has that help. Now he has Brunson. Now he has Dinwiddie. I feel like that's a difference. And
imagine that's the help you're giving him. No disrespect to these guys, but I'm just saying, like, you see the number twos that these guys play with outside of the Mavericks.
Sir. We want Minnesota.
And credit to Brunson, but man, Luka's doing a lot with less. No, Brunson without a doubt gets his credit. But to mention Dinwiddie as his number three hurts.
Utah's extremely bad perimeter defense.
Horrible defensively.
A little bit of both.
Horrible defensively.
It's both. I think Brunson.
It's both for sure, but
I think Brunson's going to give Phoenix the business too.
I don't think he was 28 a game.
I think he gives him 20 though.
Yeah, 20. I think 20 is a firm number.
I think Luka will give him 30.
Yeah,
Brunson gives him 20.
Mikal is going to be on.
Mikal's
on
a tough defender, but
even if Mikal,
he's been struggling with Brandon Ingram. Like, he's been struggling with Brandon Ingram.
I'm going with the Mavs. Luka's my guy. I'm going with the Mavs.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win. I wouldn't. Like, Mavs are a tough team. I wouldn't even be surprised. Like, Mavs are a extremely tough team. I'd be surprised if they beat us, but the Suns, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat.
It's Luka. You got to give Luka his credit. I would be kind of surprised if the Suns lost.
Yeah, but
and we did all this analysis, but let's say the Jazz come out. I have the Suns beating the Jazz.
Oh, easily. Close our eyes and make that pick. There's listen. If the Jazz beat the Mavs.
I think the Jazz will win Game 6, get blown the fuck out Game 7. Like, I'm so pissed I'm so done with them.
Honestly, I think you as a fan of Donovan Mitchell would rather see them lose in 6.
He just doesn't. This is not the Donovan that
you're hurting right now.
Yeah, I'm in pain because I don't like. It's not. This is not the
turn
Donovan.
Off your phone, you're going to bed.
This is not the Donovan that's gonna propel them anywhere. He's playing like shit. He just doesn't want to be there. Just win Game 6 for the home, for the home crowd, and get blown out Game 7. It is what it is.